Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Neha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now Neha will tell me what was the first topic done the last period.
Ma'am, what?
What was the first topic done in the previous period?
Ma'am, first, it was like they in the slides. It was telling about the biomolecules and turnover of biomolecules, which was then
Yes.
followed by the transformation of biomolecules with some examples and structures,
Yes.
and then it metabolic pathway. Then the two types of metabolic pathways, anabolic and catabolic pathways, with
Okay.
examples, and
Very
then
good.
we have that uh, there was a sentence that you actually that Lumita asked for doubt, and that part also came at that time.
Huh? So
That
what
was
was the statement? Wait, now Devanshi will tell me what was that statement which we discussed for a long time. And that's important. And I said that I can give you that statement and I'll say explain. So Devanshi, can you tell me, can you read out that sentence?
Living organisms are in a non-equilibrium because they perform work.
They perform work. So they will never be in the equilibrium if they reach the state of equilibrium, but they are in the steady state. What is said? Rumisha, क्या बोला गया है उस सेंटेंस में कि the organisms they are in the steady state but they are not in the state of equilibrium, and that is why they are functioning all the time. और अगर वो इक्विलिब्रियम के स्टेट में आ जाते हैं तो then the functioning will stop. So that's how you find that all the catabolic and the anabolic processes are going on in the living body. ठीक है. फिर now Barbie will tell me quickly that one example of anabolic reaction and catabolic reaction. Barbie will tell me quickly.
Ma'am, anabolic reaction is when glucose combined with fructose, it gives us the sucrose.
Ha. Okay, correct. Then
Then the example of catabolism is the digestion,
ha.
um, the breaking down of complex substances into similar molecules. Digestion.
Okay. Okay. Now Shravani will give me the example of this digestion. One example.
Ma'am, actually, I was
Shrav.
absent in last class.
Oh God. चलिए तो फिर आपको प्रीवियस वीडियो देखना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, and try to note down the things
Yes,
because it
ma'am.
was all important and many questions can be framed from the last class what we have done. So don't skip it. ठीक है, see the video as you receive it. Okay. So
Okay,
now
ma'am.
Rumisha will tell me. I want the example from the digestion. Specific example from the digestion.
Ma'am,
Huh? Yes, Rumisha.
ma'am, formation of glycogen from the glucose.
So that is the anabolism or the catabolism.
Ma'am, anabolism.
Now tell me about the catabolism.
Ma'am, breakdown of starch,
Huh?
protein,
Into
breakdown of starch into maltose.
into maltose. ठीक है, ये हो गया सही. Okay, प्रोटीन का अगर बताएंगे तो what you'll say? The protein breaks up into
Amino acids.
amino acids, right? Okay, so this way you can give any example taking up from your digestion, the process, the physiology of digestion which we have done. ठीक है, उसके लिए कुछ याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है, थोड़ा सा try to recollect and you will be able to give the examples. So any example you can give. So Devansh has also joined. Devansh, how are you?
I'm fine.
हाँ, यू आर फाइन. अच्छा, एक बात बताइए, पढ़ाई भी सही चल रही है कि नहीं? आर यू रिवाइजिंग एंड आर यू सीइंग व्हाट वी डिड इन द प्रीवियस पीरियड?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ ठीक है, वो सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी आर कंटिन्यूइंग विद द बायोमोलिक्यूल्स चैप्टर. अपना एंजाइम्स चल रहा है, तो एंजाइम्स. So now we will start with the enzymes, children.
Ma'am,
Yes, say.
ma'am, I have a doubt. I was actually
हाँ
going through the notes for the in the carbohydrate. We have written that it has the 1,4 glycosidic bonds. But
हाँ हाँ.
when we were showing the slides, we actually wrote about the oligosaccharides. In that, it was given that
हाँ.
the disaccharides have 1,2 glycosidic bonds. So, which one is correct?
अच्छा, the disaccharides will have 1, 2.
Ma'am, actually, we first wrote 1,4 glycosidic bonds for the disaccharides, but when we were writing again from the slides, it was given 1,2 glycosidic bond.
अच्छा, no, it will be 1, 2. But if it is a side chain, so then it may differ.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, side chains may differ, but when you see the straight chain, जो अपन linkage दिखाते, it will be 1 and 4 only. Okay, so we will see the slide once again what you are talking about. तो एक बार फिर clear कर लेंगे हम लोग. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It was which day, कुछ याद है क्या? अपन उसको फिर से slides देख लेंगे. I'll see the slides once again and then we'll clarify that.
Yes, ma'am. I am searching for the date. I will tell you after some
और
time.
हाँ. Okay, no problem. I'll see the whole thing. Okay, and then I'll discuss this next period. ठीक है? We'll discuss this in the next period. Then once again, I'll see those slides.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we will continue with the enzyme. Yes, Neha.
Ma'am, it is 16th September.
अच्छा, ठीक है. I will see it. Okay. So enzymes का जितना आपको बताया था last time, अपन ने सिर्फ starting किया है. Okay, now we will start with one by one. So first of all, what you do, children, right? Last time I said that what are the properties of the enzymes? We ended up there only, I think, isn't it? Yes or no? So you have written very briefly the properties of the enzymes. So that is very, very important to understand what are the properties of enzymes. तो उसको आज अपन detail में ले लेते हैं. Is it clear? So what you do, put today's date again and write down the properties of enzymes. Okay, so we'll continue. If it is ended there only, so you can continue. So I'll take up the notepad, children, and then I will write down. I'm sharing now. Which is the first property of the enzyme? Can anyone tell?
They are proteinaceous in nature.
They are proteinaceous in nature. Then other one? Anyone else who can tell me other second one? My screen is visible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Screen visible? Okay. So the first property you have discussed, that is, it is proteinaceous in nature. So you can write down in that first characteristic feature, first property of the enzyme. Start writing, children. This protein structure provides for weak associations. Did I send these notes to you all or not? The properties of enzymes have sent, children. Well, I've checked. Neha, Barbie.
Ma'am, I didn't.
Neha, Barbie. You have not gone through those pages which I have sent.
Ma'am, actually, I have
Barbie.
seen half of them, but I have not seen the enzyme part. I haven't seen yet.
Ma'am, you have sent.
Acha, because now I have sent, because now I'm remembering that I have sent the enzyme. I was thinking कि हम explain कर देंगे और बाकी आपके पास notes रहेंगे तो you will take it. Okay, and that will save our time. Okay, so what you will. Uh,
Ma'am, it says the general
yes,
purpose
Barbie.
of enzymes.
Right. That is there with you all.
Yes, ma'am, it's there. You send it.
Okay. इट्स देयर ना. ओके, तो अब क्या करना है, उसको आप नोट वहां से कर लेना, बस शॉर्ट में आप उसको समझ लो. सो द फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी वी आर कमिंग टू, दिस इज वेरी स्मॉल नाउ ना. Is it audible? Is it visible to you, children?
Yes, ma'am.
स्मॉल तो नहीं लग रहा है. Is it small, children? The font size? Is it okay?
Ma'am, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Previously it was little bigger ना. अगर आपको दिख पा रहा है तो फिर कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. I'll check it later. Okay, so properties of enzymes. First property, children, write down, that is remain unaltered. वो protein वाला हो गया. Second point लिख दो, remain unaltered in the end. So write it. Remain. That is your second point. Take out remain unaltered. In the end.
Ma'am?
Huh?
Ma'am, you were saying something for the first point. Protein structure provide for what?
Okay. So you are writing to write it. Otherwise, the notes which I have sent, it is having. You can complete that sentence. Provides for weak associations. Provides for weak associations due to side groups of the amino acids within it. Written, everyone? So try to understand this. अपन बोल रहे हैं proteinaceous nature है, तो why that proteinaceous nature and how the proteinaceous nature is helping. So this protein nature is only helping the association of the enzyme and the substrate. So previous period you have seen in the slides also कि how these enzymes act. उसमें आपने figure के साथ देखा था कि enzyme is a 3D structure and it is having the site which I was telling you, it is known as the catalytic or the active, that is the active site. To that site the substrate molecule will bind. Okay, अब substrate molecule bind होता है तो वो क्यों bind हो पा रहा है? Because of the side groups of the amino acids which are present in it. Okay, and that is a weak association. कोई covalent bonding नहीं होती है enzyme और substrate के बीच में. It is that a weak association. So you can write down does it involves. Does it involves? It means what, children? Here, what is the meaning of it? Can anyone tell?
Protein.
Enzyme substrate complex. Okay, that's that association. Here it is meaning the association. So does this association involves It involves the weak association. You write down. It involves weak association rather than covalent bonding. Rather than covalent bonding. Covalent bonding. So that's whatever properties you find of the proteins, that is, they have the high molecular weight, they are colloidal in nature, they are showing slow diffusion. Then, did you get that? Slow diffusion means that they will not be able to pass through the plasma membrane. So they are showing the inability to pass through the plasma membrane or the cell membranes. So you can further add up. Thus, the enzymes show all the properties of proteins, that is high molecular weight. You all are able to write, children, all of you all? High molecular weight, then colloidal behavior, slow diffusion. Now, second point, tell me what you have written now. What is the second point written?
Remain unaltered in the end.
So remember, children, कि at the end of the reaction, enzymes में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Enzyme molecule will be regained as it is, and then it will be ready for the next reaction to bind with the other molecule of the substrate. ठीक है, इसलिए अपन ये property बोल रहे हैं कि it remains unaltered in the end. So you can write down about it. All are ready to write down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So write it. The enzymes emerge from a reaction or the set of reactions in an unaltered state. The enzymes emerge from a reaction or the set of reactions in an unaltered state. And this enzyme molecule may now enter into another reaction with another substrate of the same type. Noted, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Devanshi, can you read out what you have noted? Devanshi, can you read it?
Yes, ma'am. The enzymes emerge from a reaction or a set of reaction in an unaltered state, and this enzyme molecule may now enter into another reaction with another substrate at the same time.
Of the same type. Okay, मतलब वो उसी टाइप के सबस्ट्रेट के साथ फिर रिएक्ट कर सकता है. Written ना? Of the same type.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now check the third property. Property is required in small quantities. remember, the enzymes are needed in very small quantities. So this is very important to understand. You can just write down that they are active. Enzymes are active in small quantities. Since they are reused. Since they are reused, only a small quantity is required by the biological systems. Now change the paragraph, everyone, and write down that it has been estimated that a single enzyme can act upon 5 lakh substrate molecules per minute. 5 lakh substrate molecules per minute. This value is referred to as the turnover number. So I hope you understood now कि कितना कम amount में enzymes चाहिए पड़ते हैं. So in your body, in the cell, that is in the living systems, in all biological systems, अगर थोड़ा सा भी enzyme है तो वो उस reaction को carry out continue करता रहेगा. It will not be needed further. तो ज़्यादा synthesis की जरूरत नहीं है. And what is this turnover number? So it's very important. I can ask you for 1 mark that what do you mean by turnover number of enzymes. So the turnover number means what? What is this turnover number? Shravani will tell me. What is the turnover number?
Ma'am, 5 lakh substrate molecules per minute.
Means the enzyme molecule, a single enzyme molecule upon these many substrate molecule per minute. So you can understand speed भी कितना ज़्यादा है और कितना कम amount चाहिए पड़ता है. Okay, so is this very clear to everyone? This feature, this property of the enzymes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Okay, now take up the next one quickly. Accelerates the rate of reaction. 4th point, take up accelerate the rate of reaction. So what is the meaning of accelerate the rate of reaction? Can you tell me what is the meaning of accelerate? Accelerate the rate of reaction. Barbie, what is the meaning of accelerate?
Increase the motion.
Increase the rate of reaction. Okay. So now write it down quickly. A reaction will proceed at a faster rate in the presence of an enzyme. A reaction will proceed at a faster rate in the presence of an enzyme. But the equilibrium between the substrate and the product will remain constant. Will remain constant. constant with or without the intervention of the enzyme. With or without the intervention of the enzyme. So try to understand children, reaction होता रहेगा जब तक कंटिन्यू चलता रहेगा रिएक्शन, तो सबस्ट्रेट और एंजाइम मॉलिक्यूल एक इक्विलिब्रियम स्टेट में रहेंगे, वो स्टेडी रहेगा, कांस्टेंट रहेगा, एंजाइम्स के प्रेजेंस में भी और एंजाइम्स के एब्सेंस में. रिएक्शन स्टॉप हुआ तो भी एंजाइम का नंबर और सबस्ट्रेट का नंबर सेम रहेगा. जब रिएक्शन चलेगा तो भी उस रेट पर ही चलेगा कि जितने एंजाइम मॉलिक्यूल है उस हिसाब से उसके रेशियो में द सबस्ट्रेट प्रेजेंट. That's why they are telling that but equilibrium constant. Now we take up the next feature quickly, the fifth feature. Anyone remembering what other feature we discussed? Which feature is remaining now? What we discussed in the previous feature? Could you turn the page and tell me if you have noted? Rumisha, can you tell me? Am I audible, children?
Ma'am, they have got the 3D tertiary structure consisting of substrates which bind with ma'am, only this
which bind with,
I have not written.
They have the 3D structure. So you can write down they have the 3D structure which binds with the substrate module. Okay, so that's going to write it as it is. So one more you have discussed last time, reversibility. It was there. Did we discuss this point last period, this property?
No, ma'am.
Write down. Rumisha, say the fifth property.
Reversibility of enzyme action.
Read out. No. Before that, what you said?
They have got the 3D tertiary structure in which substrate consists of substrate.
Others should write down. Wait, others have to write out. Enzymes have 3D structure. They have 3D structure. So that is helping in what? It is helping in what? Rumisha, continue.
Ma'am, only this much I have written, remaining I could not write.
अरे तो वही तो फिर से बोलो. So that only you have to say. 3D structure होने के कारण वो क्या कर रहा है? It is helping in
substrate in which substrates bind with
binding. Okay. So 3D structure which helps in, everyone write down, which helps in forming that complex. Okay, forming enzyme substrate complex. All have noted this?
Yes, ma'am.
Noted all of you all. Okay, then the sixth property. Sixth property you write out. Reversibility of enzyme action. Reversibility of enzyme action. Noted. Sixth property, reversibility you can write down that some enzymes show the reversibility of their action. Some enzymes show reversibility of their action. Reversibility of the action. So what do you mean by reversibility? You understood कि अगर वो ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है तो फिर से रिडक्शन भी कर देगा. ओके, सो दैट इज गोइंग ऑन. अगर हाइड्रोजन एडिशन हो रहा है तो हाइड्रोजन को फिर रिमूव भी करेगा, तो डीहाइड्रोजनेशन भी करेगा. सो दैट वे दे आर शोइंग द रिवर्सिबिलिटी of the action. Reversibility of the action. So for example, you can write down succinic dehydrogenase catalyzes the reversibly the dehydrogenation of succinic acid or hydrogenation of fumaric acid. Noted, all of you all? You can write down the equation quickly. Okay, what equation you will write down? Succinic acid then you write down plus the acceptor. Okay, and then you put the reversible arrows, children. Okay, what you have to do? You have to put the reversible arrows. And then you will get what? Fumaric acid. Plus the reduced acceptor. So got the equation, everyone? Written correctly, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Shravani, read out the equation.
Ma'am, succinic acid plus acceptor, then reversible arrows. That will give fumaric acid plus reduced acceptor.
So acceptor, here you are finding कि जब हाइड्रोजन रिलीज होगा, डिहाइड्रोजनेशन हो रहा है तो हाइड्रोजन रिलीज होगा, तो एक्सेप्टर उसको ले लेगा हाइड्रोजन को और फ्यूमरिक एसिड बन जाएगा. ठीक है, और फिर वही एंजाइम क्या करेगा? फ्यूमरिक एसिड को फिर से सक्सिनिक एसिड में कन्वर्ट कर देगा. So here that way this reaction is going on reversibly. Now you take up the next property, the seventh property, enzyme specificity. So last property, that is enzyme specificity. So how many properties you have understood now? Children, how many properties?
7.
7 properties. So the last property is enzyme specificity. Enzyme specificity. You can write down. This is the most fundamental and important property. This is most fundamental and important property of enzymes. The specificity may be of any kind. Example, reaction specificity. On the basis of that, children, you will get it कि अपन classification कर रहे हैं उसी बेस पर. Specificity. reaction specificity, then write down substrate specificity, substrate specificity. It means what कि एक एंजाइम पर्टिकुलर सबस्ट्रेट के साथ ही वो एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाएगा and then it will be forming the product. Same way, suppose एक एंजाइम dehydrogenase enzyme है, that is your succinic dehydrogenase enzyme is there. So इधर पर reversibility of enzymes में आप इस reversible arrow के ऊपर लिख दो the name of the enzyme, that is succinic dehydrogenase. Succinic dehydrogenase. Okay, in the sixth property where you are writing the equation, children, on top of that reversible arrow you write down succinic dehydrogenase. इसका मतलब क्या, वो dehydrogenase word जुड़ा है तो ये which reactions it will carry out, the dehydrogenation reaction. Okay, as well as the hydrogenation, वो reversible है. Okay, that is helping in reversible reaction. So particular oxidation कर रहा है कोई enzyme help कर रहा है oxidation में, तो that will help in oxidation only. So that is known as the reaction specificity. And then substrate specificity means that it will be carrying out the reaction which will involve a particular substrate. So substrate specificity. Then you can write down group specificity. So different functional groups are there. कोई enzyme अगर उस functional group को जोड़ता है और तोड़ता है तो it will be on that particular functional group. So we say group specificity, substrate as well as group specificity. Understood all of you all? अब इतना समझ में आ गया. We have completed with the properties of the enzymes today. Okay, properties of enzymes. Now you try to write down the next subheading, mechanism of action of enzyme. So just in 2 minutes we'll complete और फिर आप क्या करोगे, जो notes दिए हैं उनको read करना है and that you write it in your notebook and next period you will show me. Okay, mechanism of enzyme action. Write down mechanism of enzyme action. So mechanism of enzyme action, remember children, एक ही mechanism है इसका, that all the enzymes will be working on the same steps. What is the first step in their action? That the enzyme will combine with the substrate and will form the enzyme substrate complex. Okay, so this was explained by the Michaelis and the Menton, and they explained ki how the enzymes work. So how the enzymes work, what you do, write down the equation, फिर आप बाकी सब लिखना in your own words. What the enzymes do or how it happens, that is the enzyme will combine with what? The substrate. Substrate क्या है, बात समझ में आ गई आप लोगों को? We are using the word substrate again and again. And in bracket you write down the substrate is denoted by S. Okay, and the enzyme will be denoted by the E. Okay, so E will combine with the S and you will find what you will be getting. What you will be getting, children? जल्दी बताइए क्या मिलेगा?
Substrate complex.
हाँ, so you will write down enzyme substrate complex. ये बात अच्छे से लर्न हो जानी चाहिए. Enzyme substrate complex. So what you will write in bracket? क्या लिखेंगे अपन? ES. Okay, so enzyme substrate complex will be formed, and between this, the arrow which I put, you put that reversible arrow. Enzyme will combine with the substrate, it will form the enzyme substrate complex, and then you will find further what will happen. Once they form the complex, then you will find the reaction will occur, and that reaction will result in the formation of the enzyme. Okay, so at the end of the reaction, enzyme will be regained, plus what will be obtained? The product. The product. Okay, so after the enzyme substrate complex formation, remember children, what will happen? The reaction will occur and the product will be formed, and product we will get it and enzyme will be released. So this way the enzyme is regained, and it is regained in the unaltered state, and it is ready to combine with other substrate molecule. Followed? So this is the mechanism of action of the enzymes. So remember, it is remaining passive. You can write down after that the enzymes itself remain passive. They merely provide a platform. They merely provide a platform or template. Are you noting, children? Write this statement. The enzymes itself remain almost passive. Almost passive. It merely provides it merely provides a platform or template on which the certain molecules could react, on which तो ऐसे में means in the normal, in the absence of the enzymes, those molecules which could not come close to each other to react with each other, enzymes are providing them the platform where the two different molecules will come close to each other and they will be carrying out the reaction. And reaction you all know मतलब क्या होता है, एक टूटता है और फिर एक मॉलिक्यूल दूसरे मॉलिक्यूल में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. We are studying in the beginning only we have discussed that one molecule is getting converted into another. So how one molecule is getting converted into another means there is some breakdown of the bonds which will be breaking and then forming some another bonds. ओके तो यहाँ पर बॉन्ड बनने के लिए, बॉन्ड टूटने के लिए मॉलिक्यूल्स को पास आना या एक it is necessary to come close to each other. So they are present at different places or distantly they are present, but once the enzymes are present, the enzymes will provide them the platform on which these molecules will react and will form a product. Got it everyone? So this is very very important. Now how they are helping? So the other way is, second point आप लिख लो, that they reduce the energy of activation. Very very important. So first is they are providing the platform, and second thing they reduce the, are you all listening children? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ
Yes, ma'am.
थोड़ा थोड़ा बीच बीच में बोलते जाया करो, नहीं तो पता चलता है कि आप लोग हैं भी कि नहीं है. Okay, energy reduces the energy of activation. Okay, so that's all. We have completed with the mechanism of enzyme action. So number one, how do they act? That enzyme will combine with the substrate. It will form the enzyme substrate complex, and then the reaction will occur. The product will be formed, and at the end, we will get the product, and the enzyme will be regained in its original form, in an unaltered form. So what the enzyme has done? It has provided, it was passive, it was not participating in the reaction, it remains passive. It remains almost passive. But what it has done, it has provided the platform. okay, or a template on which those molecules could react. And then how, what it has done, that it has reduced the energy of activation. याद रखिए ये बहुत important है, क्योंकि you know that in every reaction requires a particular temperature. Okay, अपन नॉन लिविंग सिस्टम में अपन क्या करते हैं, आपने देखा होगा, अभी तो कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट्स किए ही नहीं है, बट जो भी आपने अभी तक किया, तो वी टेक द थिंग्स इन द टेस्ट ट्यूब, हम लोग रिएक्टेंट्स को लेते हैं टेस्ट ट्यूब में और फिर हीटिंग करते हैं. तो हीटिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हाई, बिकॉज दैट टेम्परेचर विल इंक्रीज देयर speed and they will collide, the molecules will collide and the reaction will take place, bonds break होंगे, नए bonds बनेंगे. तो यहाँ पर एक एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी जरूरत पड़ती है किसी भी रिएक्शन के लिए, तो वो एनर्जी, एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी इज हाई. लेकिन एंजाइम्स क्या कर देते हैं, उनके एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी को कम कर देते हैं और रिएक्शन जल्दी हो जाता है. Followed all of you all? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So activation energy is the minimal amount of energy which is required for a molecule to take part in the reaction. So we end up, children, it is 52. You'll have to attend the other class also, isn't it? तो अब आपका काम क्या है, each and every student, आप लोग 6 students यहाँ पर present है, what you will be doing, you will be seeing the your biology group and try to see what pages I have sent, and you will prepare what we have done. Number 1, what are enzymes, what are the properties of the enzyme, so properties तो आपने पूरा लिख ही लिया है, and then what is the mechanism of enzyme action. Okay, so this all, and it's very very important, for 3 marks it can be asked in the exam. Done everyone? So note down in your notebook the mechanism, और एक ग्राफ मिलेगा आपको, वो भी पूरा आप अपने नोटबुक में बना लेना. तो join your hands, close your eyes, we'll do Shanti Path. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram, children. You all can leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Go through that, okay, the pages which I have sent.